Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Melissa, and for today's video, we are going to be cleaning out and watering and caring for my Ikea cabinet. I've had this cabinet for about 2 months and I'm really happy with it. I have noticed my particular grow lights, I have them on for 12 hours. They do dry everything out in this cabinet really fast. So my temperatures sometimes get up to like 81 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's pretty warm. I haven't tried cutting the lights back to 10 hours to see if that helps. And my cabinet is not weather stripped, but the humidity stays like 60 to 80s depending on how watered the plants are inside. I didn't really feel like I needed to weather strip the cabinet, at least not right now. So yeah, I will show you my process and what I do and how I care for my cabinet. I need an energy drink first, you guys. I'm dying. So I don't really have a proper tripod for my camera, so I'm gonna try and move the camera around to different angles so you can somewhat see what I'm doing. I haven't really done this style of video before. So you can see my cabinet here. I have 3 layers, that top shelf, I have a middle section, and then I have a bottom section. So usually it's not as dirty as it normally gets, but sometimes I get like fertilizer drops on the bottom, and I have like, this is kind of gross, but sometimes I will get like dead gnats, and it just like gets a little dirty and kind of messy. So I literally take everything out, water it, let it drain, and then I will put it all back. So that's what I usually do twice a week, and it doesn't really take that long. I don't have like a ton of plants in here at the moment, and I have moved some stuff out recently. It used to be a little bit more full. So I will kind of, yeah, show you my process. Some supplies I end up using for my cabinet. So normally I'm a take everything to the sink waterer type of person, but it's a little bit kind of hectic doing that with the cabinet. So I have some clear bins. I have just like a larger one and a couple smaller ones I will use. And so I water over these and let them drain. And you know, any excess water that I have left over, I just dump it out. I use my fertilizer when I water every time. I filled my jugs up. This is Liquider, is what I use to fertilize my plants with. And I also have, you know, a little lint brush that I will use to kind of wipe out the cabinet. And then I just have some cleaner I will use too if it's super dirty. So that's all I really do every time I, you know, go through and rearrange my cabinet. So I usually start with my anthuriums so that they can drain before I put them back. And you know, I will just like move down the cabinet. So I kind of just go one by one, and I do a quick look over of the plants. If there's anything not doing well, I do a quick pest check. You know, I kind of take care of some issues during the time that I clean this out. But I will say sometimes I'm not always, you know, in that mood to do that. So I'll just water really quick and put them all back in. So it really just depends on the mood and how much time I have for the day. All right, let's open her up. Oh wow, look at that new leaf. Oh my goodness. Wow, that is beautiful. Look at this new leaf, you guys. This is my variegated Adansonii, and this new white leaf has holes. I really wish this thing would stop giving me white leaves, honestly. This thing has given me so much white. It has a node down here, a couple nodes that are activating, which is very interesting. It just like randomly shot up, and I have some air roots. I am going to repot this plant. This is still the original mix that it's in. I got this plant from Botanica's. It had 2 original leaves, and it grew 2 white ones. No, it grew 3 white ones. All those died, and now it's growing like more white. So I'm hoping I can get more green on this plant because I love it. I think I eventually am going to do this variegated Adansonii on a pole or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I keep this one in like a cloche, and I honestly don't have to water this plant that much because this keeps this plant watered. But usually I take this guy out of the cloche for the time that I'm cleaning my cabinet out, just so it can like get some air and breathe. So I just kind of like sit him somewhere and just let him hang out. This is my big Anthurium forgetii. Look at this leaf is actually 10 inches long. I actually measured it this morning. But these guys get super thirsty. So I give these guys a good drink. So I fertilize also with slow release fertilizer in the soil. I just started taking my jugs and just watering that way. It just is easier. But I will water my anthuriums a few times through to make sure that they really get saturated, because these are some very thirsty plants. And I don't like to let them get dry, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes I am like a day late. Like I should have watered my cabinet yesterday and I didn't. I'm trying to water my cabinet. I'm trying to check on them like Sunday and Wednesday type of thing, like twice a week, certain days of the week, but sometimes I miss the day and then it gets off schedule. So since today's Thursday, I should have checked on it yesterday. So I'm gonna have to probably check this again Sunday/Monday. Set him aside. I'm gonna grab another one. This one is my Magnificum and Crystallinum hybrid. It's given me 3 new leaves since being in the cabinet. This is the newest one, and it's beautiful. These guys are growing like crazy, and I love that. Sometimes what I'll do is use since I water these guys so much, I don't want to waste my liquid dirt, like my water. So I just like run the same water through them again, just to make sure everything gets saturated. And what's nice about the clear pots is you can actually see what is hydrated and what isn't. So if there's like spots that are still not wet, then I will run that through several more times just to make sure everything gets saturated. Sometimes I make a mess on the carpet, but usually I'm pretty good at trying to avoid the mess. I'm gonna take the rest of these out and just lay them. I just lay them on the carpet. My cabinet is so bright in here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that well, but I'll just like dust all like the dirt and debris that falls onto my lights off. And then I have like fertilizer stains that I'll just wipe off. Sometimes I don't really bother cleaning these out at all. Unless they're like super dirty, I usually just leave them be. And sometimes I'll just like open these. Oh God, that's hitting the roof of the ceiling. Yeah, I feel like I probably need to take care of these props because they're like squished in here. I'm just gonna set that down. So I'm gonna just take my rag, spray it with a little cleaner, and I'll just kind of wipe down some of this fertilizer that has stained. And I don't do this every time. I just don't like it to get super dirty. I feel like if I clean a little bit every time, it won't be so bad. And just kind of wipe off that top light a little bit where that extra fertilizer drips down. Whoop. If I put them back in here and they drip a little bit more, then I will get to it when, you know, I clean the bottom layer. Usually by that time they are done dripping. So yeah, I just kind of put them back in a spot that they can fit in like that. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Those anthuriums. That leaf is definitely making a statement. Sometimes I cut leaves off, like this one is yellowing and it's going to go anyway. I've been like trimming it, so I just get rid of them. Sometimes I leave leaves until they, you know, yellow and brown. Sometimes I don't, but mostly if it's bothering me, I will just cut it off. Here's my Warqueanum. It's growing back. It has a couple babies in there. I don't know if you can see. All right, so I have the second layer kind of all over the floor. I'll end up vacuuming after I'm done But I just take each individual plant and, you know, check on it, water it. I guess it would be easier if I took everything to the sink and just did like one water. See, that one was still dripping some. So, oh well. Yeah, anything that falls down, I'll just clean once I get to that bottom shelf. So that is that top shelf all done. Everything has been watered and checked on. So it really doesn't take that long to do. And I usually do this pretty fast once I get the flow of it, and I don't have too many on the bottom. That jewel orchid didn't need any water, and that one's just a water prop, so I'll just top that off at the end. And to clean my leaves, this is a mixture of, this is just Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap and water. Sometimes I throw neem oil in here, but this, I didn't put neem oil in this time, and I just use like a microfiber cloth. So if I'm cleaning the leaves, I just spray a little bit. And then just kind of wipe it off. Because sometimes these leaves do get water marks and fertilizer marks from the plants above that drip down onto it if I don't let them drain. One time I tried to water my plants one time, you guys, with them in the cabinet because I was in such a rush, and I just like wanted to get it done really fast, and that was not a good idea because a lot of these plants have really chunky soil, and as soon as I poured water on top, it literally got everywhere. So I'm like, oh, never doing that again. So look how much prettier that leaf is since I wiped them off. I would say the plants that tend to dry out the most are definitely my anthuriums and my alocasias for sure. These are some baby corms. This is a alocasia poly to that mother plant, and that's a silver dragon. These are like have been ready to pot up. I've just been lazy. But since I have this alocasia out right now, I'm gonna go ahead and add this baby in here. And I already added a baby in before, you see him, so I'm gonna add the second baby in there. This is my go-to tool for adding props in. This is from a succulent toolkit. I can link mine below. It's only like 10, 12 bucks and you get like 15 pieces. It's awesome. This tool is amazing. I don't really care too much about if some of the moss remains. Like it just like pretty much came right off for this one. So what I do for this guy, when I add him in, I'm gonna take my little tool here, and since I put one on that end, I'm gonna do him like over here on this side. This little tool is amazing. That's my hole. And then I'm going to, maybe I kind of wrap the roots around themselves a little bit, just so they have an easier time going in. I am doing this with one hand too, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. And I will just pluck him down into that hole and then just kind of cover it on top with soil. And since this guy I just watered him, I don't have to worry about giving this one any more water. Now I will say, since my alocasias dry out pretty fast, over like the next couple of days, I'll just take a water bottle and make sure that the cutting part stays hydrated a bit, just until it kind of situates itself in the pot, because I don't want this guy to dry out and then get super stressed and then these little baby ones not make it, because I feel like that's an issue sometimes, is the roots get dried up and then the plant ends up dying. So that's one thing that I do to make sure that my props are successful, is I will, you know, make sure the area where the cutting is stays a bit hydrated. And then, yeah. I'm gonna give his little leaves a wipe down here. I rarely wipe down alocasia leaves, honestly. It just had a little spillage from the fertilizer from my alocasias above. So yeah, that's it. He is done. And he will go back on his shelf. Okay, I'm pretty much done with my clean out and watering. I'm going to show you some plants I'm going to take care of really quick, and I'll show you like the cabinet redone. I always rearrange every time I water and do this. And so next time when I water, I think this time took me a little bit longer because I've let some of my props go for way too long, and I stuck a couple back in there that I really need to take care of, but I just don't feel like doing it today. But I'll show you what I'm going to take care of really quick, and that'll be it for the cabinet. So this is what's left. I am going to vacuum, clean out those containers and everything. And so these are the plants that I am going to figure out. My Gloriosum has been unhappy for a while, and I mentioned in my last video I might take him out, and I noticed his soil is way too wet from when I watered him last time. So I'm going to go ahead and I think just like get him out of this little food container vessel, get him repotted, and I'm going to leave him out of my cabinet. I just don't think he likes it in there. That corm I'm going to add back into my silver dragon pot. That won't take that long to plop him in there. These props I need to get out of there because they're hitting the top. I think they're Syngonium albo, so I might add these in my Syngonium albo pot real quick. It won't take that long to plop them in there with that little tool. And this guy hasn't done anything at all since I potted this up like last year or earlier this year. It was a prop. It was like a 1-leaf propagation. And I don't know, he had some questionable spider mites on the back of his leaf. Maybe, I don't think they're spider mites. I don't know, but I'm just going to, I think, quickly at least clean him off with my Azamax. And then I'm going to repot him, I think, too, real quick and just see what's going on underneath the soil. I might not do that today. I might just like spray him down with Azamax. But my Gloriosum, just even though it's pushing out a new leaf, it just seems overall very unhappy and the soil is wet. And he got root rot before, so I would rather take care of him now real quick than later, because I do have some soil mix in there. I can quickly repot him and I don't have to like make a new batch or anything like that. Yeah, so that is what I do. I take everything out, water everything, clean it, put everything back. It usually takes, I would say, not even an hour, give or take. You know, it depends on what I have going on. Sometimes I take longer, sometimes I don't. Like for today, I took a little bit longer, cleaned some leaves, took some stuff out, and yeah, it normally doesn't take that long. So it's a pretty quick process. So that is it for my cabinet clean out and watering, and this cat just won't leave me be. But thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I do this twice a week, like I said, and I enjoy it. It's one of these activities, cleaning out my cabinet and checking on things, that I really enjoy with part of my like plant routine. And I just think it's relaxing and it's a fun project. I really love my cabinet, and I've come to really love anthuriums especially. So I really hope you enjoyed, and if there's any other like plant care routines or anything that you want me to anything that you want me to film and record for you guys, let me know what kind of plant routines that you want to see me do or you want to see or curious about, because I would love to know. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you all very soon.